Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And a bunch of you in some of the live chats have been asking for my predictions for the rest of the month of January, and I am here to share them with you. But before we get to that, let's take a look back at the recent chunk of games. And you all know it is not pretty. In fact, it is very ugly. In the last 7 games, your New Jersey Devils have gone 2-4-1, which is 5 of 14 possible points for an absolutely abysmal .357 points percentage. Ouch. Ouch. Oh boy, that is an ugly stretch. And now we have some ground to gain back. We put ourselves in a little bit of a hole there. 5 out of 14 points over 7. I mean, wow. There's not much you could say. I mean, that road trip was just absolutely tragic. And the Devils have 8 games to close out the month of January, and they are going to need to make the best of them. We look at the remaining slate for the month of January, coming off of that beautiful overtime win against the Lightning. The New Jersey Devils back in action tonight, Tuesday the 14th, against the Florida Panthers, looking to complete the season sweep. Not going to be easy. They want revenge. We beat them twice on their home ice in back-to-back games in a bizarre scheduling situation, but should be a good one. And then we go to Toronto on Thursday the 16th. Sheldon Keefe's return to Toronto. Going to be a media circus. Another huge game. Toronto looking to keep their standing atop the Atlantic. And then we have on Saturday the 18th at home against the Philadelphia Flyers, who are in a world of pain right now. Last place in the division. Still not completely out of it, but they very well may be soon if they don't find a way to turn it around. And then Sunday, right back at home in the afternoon against the Ottawa Senators. All eyes on Brady. All eyes on Brady in that one, but Ottawa right there in the wild card race. Going to be playing desperate. Another good game. Then we have Wednesday the 22nd at home against the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins hang on to that number 1 wild card spot at the moment. They've been dangerous forever. They've had a very slow start to the season. They kind of turned it around and are in a playoff spot. And then the 25th at Montreal against the Canadiens. Another team looking to claw and scratch their way into a wild card spot. Another Eastern Conference showdown. And then we close out the month, 27th and the 29th. They home and home with the Philadelphia Flyers. Again, they are just not a very good hockey team, but this could be their last kind of push to stay relevant for the rest of the season. 8 big games against Eastern Conference opponents to close out the month of January. And we look at where these teams are in the standings, just a quick little refresher. Toronto at the top of the Atlantic with 56 points, 27-15-2 through 44 games played with a .636 points percentage. The Panthers second in the Atlantic through 43 games, 25-15-3 for 53 points with a .616 points percentage. And then we get to the wild card and below. Boston Bruins through 45 games played, 21-19-5 for 47 points with a .522 points percentage. Montreal through 42 games played, 20-18-4 for 44 points, a .524 points percentage. And the Philadelphia Flyers through 43, 18-20-5 for 41 points, a .477 points percentage. And as you can see here, everybody we are playing has something to play for. Trying to stay atop your division, trying to stay in the top 3 of your division, trying to move out of a wild card into the top 3 of your division, trying to get into a wild card. Everybody has something to play for. And these games are all big. We've talked about time and time again. Yes, broken record. There are no easy wins in this league. There are no gimme wins. Every team has some good guys and are capable of beating any team on any given night. And we've seen it with our New Jersey Devils. They've struggled against some of the lesser teams in the league, San Jose, Anaheim, etc. We've seen it time and time again. They have to play a complete 60 minutes against the good teams and the bad teams and get some points here. And because this stretch is so crucial, in my opinion, and because we have been on that slide, 2-4-1, because of that slide, we need to bank some points. And so I will show you my personal, this is the Ace preferred goaltending rotation for the duration of January. And I'm kicking it off Tuesday the 14th at home against the Panthers. I am going right back to Jacob Markstrom. Guys, you are witnessing something truly special. Marky is on fire right now. Absolute fire, especially the last few games. Stole the one against Seattle. Got us a loser point that we had no business getting at the Garden, in my opinion. And was a main contributing factor in that overtime win against the Lightning. Marky's on fire. Ride the hot hand. Panthers are going to be coming in hot, looking to get some payback. We embarrassed them twice on their home ice earlier in the season, and they're looking to avoid the season sweep. I'm going right back to Marky. And then Thursday the 16th in Toronto in another huge game. We're 0-2 against them, looking to avoid being swept. The tale of two games, right? We're looking to complete the sweep against the Panthers, looking to avoid the sweep against the Leafs. Keefe's homecoming, how can he get swept in his first season as Devils head coach? You're going to get swept by your former team? Completely unacceptable. Can't happen. And really can't get swept by any team. But the fact that it's his former team and a conference foe, if you will, cannot happen. And so what is your best chance to win? You go right back to Jacob Markstrom. Firm believer in Jacob Markstrom. Then we return 18th against the Flyers. That one I'm going Jake Allen. Marky would have played a ton of games in a row at that point. All right, he needs to get a rest. The sports science people are crying. You give him a rest. You go to Jake Allen on the 18th. And then the next day against the Senators, right back to Marky. Right back to Marky. The Sens are going to be clawing and scratching. They are right there on the cusp. Right there on the cusp of a wild card spot. Ottawa is starved for a playoff appearance. Got to go Marky in that one. And then 22nd against Boston, to no one's surprise, Jacob Markstrom back in the net. 25th at Montreal, Jacob Markstrom, guys. Jacob Markstrom. And then he gets a rest on the 27th away at Philly. Jake Allen playing Philadelphia for the second time in 9 days, this time on the road. Jake Allen's in there for that one, which would put Jacob Markstrom on 3 days rest to come right back at home against Philly to close out the month on the 29th against the Flyers. And I think this is a very logical breakdown. 8 games, 6 for Jacob Markstrom, 2 for Jake Allen. I mean, what more can you do? That's, in my opinion, that is the least acceptable amount of games for Jacob Markstrom to play during the stretch. I will be pretty angry if he doesn't get 6 of the next 8. Now they might, the games might be different, from what I have laid out here. Although, because of the timing in the schedule, I think this is the most logical one. I think my goaltending rotation is perfect, if I'm being honest. I think this is the perfect rotation for the month of January. But if somehow Marky gets 6 games, but it's in a different sequence or whatever, I'd be okay with that. I'm not married to this layout per se, but I do think it is perfect. But if Allen gets 3 of the next 8, I will have a problem with that. Marky's on fire. We traded to bring in a number 1 guy. We have a number 1 guy. And let him play. Let him play. The great Martin Brodeur was instrumental in bringing Markstrom here. He talked about how he talked to Fitz and some of the other executives about how he thought Markstrom could be a true asset to the Devils. He's here, and it's happening. Marty, obviously a guy, for those of you that were around to witness his illustrious career, you knew that he commanded the net. He played back-to-backs regularly. He played 77 games in some seasons, 78, 74, 73. Guy was playing constantly. And Markstrom is in that mold. He is a true competitor. He wants to win. He hates losing, and he wants to play every game. And when he's playing the way he has been as of late, you reward him. We need the points. This has been an ugly skid as of late, and we need to regain some of that ground we lost. Give the net to Jacob Markstrom. Let him run with it. And in my opinion, this is a beautiful rotation right here. Closing out the month of January, 6 Marky starts and 2 for Jake Allen. And now everyone wants to know, what is your prediction, yada yada. I guess my prediction, I'm going to be a little bold here. I'm going to go that the Devils go 5-2-1, which would be 11 out of 16 possible points, which would be a beautiful result. I'm going with 5-2-1. Maybe it's overly optimistic, maybe it's not, but that's my prediction, 5-2-1. We have 3 Flyers games in there. I mean, again, I hate to talk poorly about some of these teams that are struggling, but you have a real opportunity to sweep the Flyers. Easier said than done, obviously, but they are struggling. They are not a great hockey team. that could be 3 wins right there. But I digress. My prediction, 5-2-1, 11 of 16 points. But here we get to the acceptable scenarios. Now, any of these scenarios to me are acceptable after the 8 games. Anything less than this would be a travesty. We start off acceptable scenario number 1, 5-3, 10 of 16 points for a 625 points percentage, which would be a C grade. And maybe that's a little harsh, but I'm giving that a C grade because that is basically what you're expected to do. The Devils are currently playing at a 622 points percentage. And so now to get a passing grade of a C, well, I guess a D is a passing grade, but in this scenario, to get a C, you basically have to maintain. That's a C. I can't award better than a C for maintaining. And 625 points percentage is maintaining. The next scenario, 5-2-1, 11 out of 16 points, would be a 685 point percentage for a B grade. Would love to see that. And now anything beyond this is just kind of dream stuff. But 5-1-2 for 12 out of 16 points would be a 750 points percentage for an A grade. 6-2 for 12 out of 16 points would be another 750 A grade. 5-0-3, 13 out of 16 points, 8.125 points percentage, A plus grade. 6-1-1 is also 13 out of 16 points, A plus grade. 6-0-2 is 14 out of 16 points for a .875 points percentage, A plus plus. A plus plus, obviously. 7-1, again, 14 out of 16 points, .875, A plus plus. 7-0-1 is 15 out of 16 points for a 938 points percentage, which is an A plus plus plus. And then obviously 8-0 at the bottom, 16 out of 16 points. And that's just plan the cup parade. Plan the cup parade. No, I mean, I'm kidding around here. Obviously 8-0 is, ridiculous. I would love to go 8-0. But realistically, I think 5-3 should be the worst case scenario, and it's the least acceptable scenario on my chart here. I am predicting 5-2-1, which is 11 out of 16 points, so that's 685. I would love to see that, but they got to go 5-3. Must get 10 out of the 16 points here, and that's just maintaining, guys. That is just maintaining our current play over the course of the whole season, and that's taking into account the horrible stretch we just had. So I'm just looking to maintain the full body of work, and yeah, 5-3 does that. Anything less than 10 points, no matter how you slice it, is a fail. Solid F. Anything less than 10 points coming off of the stretch we've just had is unacceptable. It is a failure. It is a bold F. And that's it. That's what I got for you. 8 games, got to go at least 5-3 and get those 10 points. And we'll see how they do. I'm hopeful that they meet my prediction of the 5-2-1 for the 11 points. Would be great. And anything better than that is obviously phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. Let me know what your prediction for the rest of January is in the comments. Let me know what you thought about anything I had said in this video in the comments. Anything, everything, Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. I have a bunch of really cool stuff in the works. And I'll be back very soon. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.